Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki Man Si. Champions League nights at Anfield are almost upon us against Atletico Madrid on Wednesday. It's going to be a late kickoff for me, 4 a.m. on the Thursday. So unfortunately, I can't live stream it. But I've got something very, very important to say to everybody. First and foremost, my main man, the leader of the Liverpool Fan in Japan community, Jamie Rennie. Everyone, show your appreciation in the comments down below. He's unfortunately a little bit unwell, but he's still gifted 5 memberships in the live watch along last match. So thank you so much, Jamie. You are super, super appreciated. Always thank you for the support and kind words. Everybody, drop a mention for Jamie Rennie in the comments below. Similarly, my main man, brother from another mother, Andy Cantwell. His missus is unfortunately unwell as well. The last message he provided was she was rushed to the hospital, but thankfully she's on the mend. So let's give all of our thoughts and prayers to Andy and hope that his missus makes a full recovery, and show our love to Andy and his channel as well. Absolutely top man with all the vibes. Much love to you, Andy, and family. So yes, we are against Atletico Madrid, right? What a lineup. Burnley, Atletico Madrid, Everton. 3 defensive, low block, master of the dark arts. Maybe an injury or 2, or at least attempts from the Blues come the weekend. But first and foremost, we're back in the Champions League. And look, we have rightfully been made favourites by so many pundits. My goodness, I can't believe it. I don't know if I even like that, because I like the underdog mantra. Liverpool as underdogs in the bright lights on a European night at Anfield. We turn over any opposition. Now, Atletico Madrid aren't of the caliber that they used to be. They haven't got those world-class players in every position. Master of the dark arts, Simeone will always make it tough on the transition and the counter-attack. They are lightning fast, but they have some injury doubts as well. Nico Gonzalez, Alex Baena, Jose Jimenez, big stalwarts for them, out injured. Who knows whether Julian Alvarez will make it as well. Big deal made over Julian Alvarez in the summer and last summer as well, when apparently Luis Diaz wanted to go to Manchester City. I will do a dedicated video on the curious case of Lucho Diaz. A little bit of a strange player and signing for Liverpool, and how he departed. Some inside information on that one. Watch out for that one very, very soon. Love me some Lucho Diaz in the title winning season last season. But yes, I digress just a little bit. Griezmann will obviously be a threat. Giovanni Simeone, Simeone's son, is in the lineup. Potentially Thiago Almada. David Hanko could potentially be injured, as well as Lenormand at the back. So Julian Alvarez being the main one with injury doubts, but some other key players for Atletico Madrid are injury doubts as well, and they will come to Anfield to hopefully nick a 1-0 victory, but we won't let it happen, because Arne Slot is a cream of the crop, and this is a channel with substance in abundance.
The cream of the crop!
Well said, Macho Man. And we're going to go into the tactical lineup formations, what Liverpool are looking to do, and how we can unravel the Atletico Madrid low block barn door with a banjo. So let's get into it. So yes, it's going to be a very functional Atletico Madrid lineup. I almost expect them to go 4-4-1-1, congest the centre as well, keep it tight, keep the line congested in as well. And when they're penned back as well, 2 defensive midfielders sit in front of the back 4. Wing backs covering the length, inviting the congestion, the crush into the middle as well. 2 strikers poaching on the off chance that any time Liverpool get in behind into the 6th position, they come back and congest, win the ball on the counter, pivot out wide. Either the striker goes in and it's an undercut inside from the winger as well to play from there. Obviously to that side, and when it's that side, the threat is obviously the slide rule ball that Liverpool always seem to concede on the transition in that case. Liverpool are very, very aware of what Atletico Madrid are liking to do, but just because you're aware doesn't mean you can always stop it. But unusually for opposition, Atletico Madrid like to congest you into the centre channels, where they can congest and crush you in that regard, as opposed to the whips that we've seen many an occasion in the Premier League. Hasn't totally been working this season, but on the Champions League night, they can be frustrating. We hope we get an early goal. So what are Liverpool looking likely to do? I think the lineup is going to be very, very surprising. You're not going to want to miss this. The lineup, I believe, for this particular Champions League match is very interesting for the fact that we got 3 games this week, and Arne Slot intimated Alexander Isak is ready to play 45 minutes. Is that off the bench? Is that starting? Yet to be seen. Now, we know that Hugo Boss, huge Ekitike, right? French international, newly crowned international, Ekitike starts usually and gets 70 minutes thereabouts, where he runs out of gas, cramps up, and then Isak can come on for the last 20 minutes. But that means that Ekitike would have to do a 70-minute shift now and probably start on the weekend as well. Will we start with Isak? Will we see the fitness of Isak? Will we try to get the opening goal, early goal? I think we could, but let's start from the back. Now, this is the first big call. Does Mamardashvili come in to make his debut? I don't think so in the Champions League. I think he's the cup keeper. It wouldn't be surprising if he did come in. But look, we've got to start the Champions League off well. You actually get finances. You get financial remuneration for every win you get in the group stages. So it's to your benefit to play a very strong team to rack up those wins. Because even though we finished top of that mini league last season and we drew PSG in the next round, and unfortunately we lost out on penalties. It could have swung either way. Harvey Elliott, bless that man, he showed the double zeros to Everton on his Aston Villa debut. Scored the winning goal. We discombobulated, they scored a scrappy goal with Dembele, and they knocked us out on penalties. But it could have gone either way. The winner of that match would have won the Champions League. Okay, so Virgil van Dijk, come as you like, Captain Fantastic on an Anfield European night out, starts. You've got to match them physically with physicality. Okay, so Konate starts in this one as well. Potentially Gomez could come in, but I think physicality is the aim of the game, and you go with that. The Robertson, Milos Kerkez debate is very, very interesting. Milos Kerkez still's got to adapt his role. He's incredibly young. Is it 21, 22 years old, 23 years old? Robertson intimated as well. He's going to need time, new player, new system, new tactical formation and shape. The players have to get used to each other. It's about gelling. Arne Slot is finding ways to kind of scrape and claw out victories, even though the team are gelling with new players, new systems, new attributes, and new traits. Okay, I think Milos Kerkez has the opportunity in the rough and tumble of Atletico Madrid, especially to keep up with the wingers, Giovanni Simeone in particular. Milos Kerkez starts for that vibrance. It's a European night. We have Robertson as backup, as the cool head. Bring Kerkez on, and Robertson's probably needed for his calm attributes for Everton. Similarly, at right back, we've got a decision to make. Jeremy Frimpong came in, won the penalty, ultimately won us the match by doing that. He had a shot attempt as well. Him and Engamoha made a big difference. But Conor Bradley showed that he's fit enough to play as well. So Szoboszlai went into midfield. We looked electric when Bradley came on. Now, Frimpong is still coming back from a long-term injury. Bradley's shown his fitness. Bradley was called upon first. I think Conor Bradley starts this one because he is the facilitator for Mo Salah to do the out to in this particular matchup, which I think we'll try to utilize as much as possible. I know Frimpong can go around the outside, but Frimpong's also maybe more of a weapon off the bench because of his pace and ability to play right winger or right back. So I think Conor Bradley probably starts this one. But saying that though, Atletico Madrid in a low block and the pace of Jeremy Frimpong is frightening. We can't go wrong with either Bradley or Frimpong in all honesty. It won't be Joe Gomez. They haven't got the biggest of threats down the left wing. I think Almada out injured is quite key to that as well. So Gravenberch is by far one of the best sixes in the world, starts on the base. We're going to need him to turn the men in midfield, especially when they pressure and when they press. They will only press when they can commit the front two strikers into our body and back them up appropriately. Otherwise, they'll do a half-court press from this position, which means that unless we enter into this zone, they don't press. They sit off and they hold position, okay? It'll be frustrating to some viewers. I think Maka has got to be rested, right? You would have expected Maka to start here because his propensity to break the lines for line-breaking balls, but Szoboszlai on merit always starts at this moment until he's burned out or showing signs of fatigue. Curtis Jones could have started, but I think he's injured. We've got no timeline on his return at the moment. And then we get to the very, very interesting selections. Will it be a 10? Will Vert start on the left? Will Ekitike start with Alexander Isak? Wouldn't that be a sight to see Ekitike and Isak together? Florian Wirtz was bought for the big occasions, and he's got to hold the ball in the Mazzala, inside forward, or trequartista positions. Would you like me to make a video explaining the Rondoita, the trequartista, right? The Mazzala positions, right? All of the positions, the libero position, the halfback position, the anchor man. Would you like me to explain from coaching terminology what we mean by a 6, what we mean by an 8? Actually, a 6 is different depending on where you go. Brazil, like the 5. Some other European nations like the 4. They like different terminology for different positions, but yeah, it's all interesting stuff. If you know the history of football, I love the history of football and tactical lineups. You're talking about how Galincha used to play, how Rivellino used to play, or the Brazilian greats, Passarella from the back. I love that era as well. Yeah, let me know if you like history of football. I might check in the member section first, and we'll see how it performs. Okay, so Szoboszlai and Gravenberch there. Florian Wirtz will start here because he's been so good. I don't know what the pundits and people in media are saying. They've got an agenda against him, and rightfully so. They want him to fail, but he can't fail. He's just that good. Now, right wing and left wing. Okay. Is it going to be anyone else but Mo Salah? He's had criticism, but look, big game occasion on Anfield. If he scores early, he's like your boy Sai. Score early and he's on fire for the rest of the game. Misses the 1 or 2 first chances, gets tackled on the 1v1s, and then he might go hiding until the 90th minute where he scores or assists as usual. No, can't back against Mo Salah. Big game, big occasion, big player. We need him to step up. Last season, if he scored early against PSG, we're through. We win the Champions League. We need him to bury the 1 or 2 first clinical chances. Smile all you like, even if you missed a chance, but deliver, please, because we believe in you, Egyptian King Mo Salah, King of the Wing, King of the Ring, and Wing. Ring. Dear. Captain Planet. Anyway, left winger. Cody Gakpo has his detractors. Florian Wirtz could play on the left. Everyone likes to see Ekitike on the left for whatever reason to accommodate Isak. It's Cody Gakpo. Because he's got the shot. People are talking about dribbles and take-ons and missing Lucho Diaz and Luis Diaz's propensity to dribble. He's got no end product at the end of the dribble. And what do you mean by a dribble? This is still a dribble. If the player can't stop him from coming in here, taking a shot or crossing in, that's a successful dribble. That's a successful take-on. I don't know what you're talking about. Whether it's this way or laterally this way or perpendicular this way, doesn't matter. If the defender doesn't tackle him, it's a successful take-on. Stats. And Isak comes in. Why not? Ekitike started every game so far on merit. He's got a link up with Wirtz. He didn't link up so cleanly last game. He could have, if he had a poaching instinct, get in the back there for Wirtz's dribble, and shunt across the box. That would have been beautiful. X marks the spots. X going to give it to you. We need an early goal against Atletico Madrid to change the facet of the game, the narrative of the game. I tell you how you beat Atletico Madrid. With intensity. With integrity. Don't fall for the dark arts. And with intelligence. We're very fortunate. We have super intelligent players, and they're technical players. Technical, physical player. Technical beast. Super technical. More technical than you think. Can deliver a lofted through ball. Very technical. Running through the lines, give and go as well. The animal. He's also very technical. He's an all-around footballer. Slightly less technical, but physical powerhouse and great technique on the shot. He's actually really good in the air and defensively in the air as well, covering the half space in this occasion here. We'll get back to the aerial threat in a second there, because the back post loft to Salah isn't a game-winning condition, but the back post loft to Isak can be a game-winning condition. And that is why I think Isak starts, because Isak can contest the aerial balls against the height and physicality of Atletico Madrid. But if anything drops in the box, the one poacher that we have in our team, apart from Gakpo, right, the Dirk Kuyt, the Robbie Fowler, the Michael Owen, penalty box instincts, is Isak all day. We don't really have anyone with those penalty box instincts apart from Isak. And Gakpo does have it, but we rarely find him on occasion in there this season. Last season and in Klopp seasons, he did sneak in there when the ball was shunted across. Do you remember the opening goals against Manchester City? He found a way to sneak there. But that's when we directed the ball to Mo Salah on occasion. Why did we do that? Because Trent Alexander-Arnold's existence meant that we gave him the ball over and over again in that position and in that position, where we can arc it to Salah or hit it over the top to Salah or on the laterals to Salah, and we played through Salah. The Pep Linders effect. Gladly, he's at Man City now. Intensity, release a book, because then they're going to go on 3-4 again. They're not going to paper over the crack. This is a weak Man City team, believe me that. Okay, so Atletico Madrid, what they're trying to do, they're trying to stifle the opposition. And when they play that low block, as I intimated, right, and it's going to be 4 with 2 deep-lying players inviting the press and crush in front of you. We have 2 in front on that occasion, okay? That means you're going to find it very difficult to find space in and behind and in this area. They're suggesting you go in there because the wing-backs will be covering the whips, right? The routes to Salah and the routes to Gakpo. Now, Ekitike drops between the lines there. And that's okay if you play 2 10s in front of the opposition if you have the diagonal runners like Salah and Mane used to do, with Firmino dropping in between. But they don't. Under Arne Slot's system, they're keeping the whips. So what do you need? You need an Isak on the last line, on the shoulder, noting that with a bias for a particular side, when the ball gets transitioned, because everybody is, cute and going towards the ball, Wirtz might go overlap Gakpo here. Gakpo's got to get his head up and trust the rotation of the play. To get the ball in. Right? If the ball goes across, it goes across. And Conor Bradley comes in the underlap and Salah goes out wide, right? The players have a choice to make. Do you let it go out wide there, in which case step in and it's a Trevor into the box? Or do you cover Salah and allow Bradley to get in the box? If Bradley comes in the box, Isak can come alive off the shoulder of the last man here. Because that ball into that area, I trust Isak more than most players in world football, including Erling Haaland, to make a decent fist of it, to stand a man up and make a decent fist of it, or to even play make and try to pick out Wirtz in the box or Gakpo at the back post. Isak's ability to step on the ball, turn on the sixpence and play forward is immense. Even if he gives there Bradley as a dummy runner, whether you're feeding Bradley in instead and it'll open up the gap, Isak is a long shooter. He's a long shooter. He's a striker with a long shot. Gabriel Batistuta can do that. Claudio Lopez can do that kind of shot as well. Christian Vieri loves that kind of shot as well. Hernan Crespo loves that kind of shot. Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, Nazario can do that kind of shot. Rivaldo can do that shot. The strikers with a long shot, I love it. I love it. And Isak can do a long shot. And when you're loaded at back post with a penalty box poacher and a playmaker or feeding him in, I think that is the game-winning condition to get the early slot into Isak to take some shots. That's why Bradley plays, because as well as Frimpong be able to go around the outside and provide delivery, if he can beat the wing-back and the full-back, who are going to stay wide and tight and low in a block, Salah's ability to go in the top in a dual 10 position means that more likely than not, even if he's back against a player, Isak can take it, and then you've got players in and around him making the overlap. Now, Salah doesn't really make the overlap. It could be the age, 33 years old, but Wirtz will very happily make the overlap run and will Szoboszlai as well. Szoboszlai will make the dummy run into the box, and it's in those positions where you drag the players back and you get that little bit of space in between the fullbacks and the 6 positions. Isak can come alive, and that's why I think Isak starts. Give him a full 45-minute run out to see if we can get the goal, because if we get the early goal, it opens up the game, and the narrative of the game and the flow of the game completely change. Now, that is the lineup with Isak in it. That is what I think we will go with. Isak is ready. He's been training. Unleash him, because intensity is the name of the game here. Getting the shots on the way, getting the fans on our side, and putting Atletico Madrid under the cosh. They got their first win in La Liga, first 3 points, I think, over the weekend, but they're not in form and they're not doing particularly well this season. So I think you go right at them with intensity. They're not going to be able to handle the press, and some of their key players may be out as well. If it gets to the 70-80 minute mark, Atletico Madrid are very, very good at closing out games. But saying that though, Liverpool are very good at mentally fatiguing and physically fatiguing opposition and battering them and knocking on the door. If this is not Isak, then Isak comes on in the 65th or 70th minute if we need a game, or just for a run out as well, okay? So if Ekitike is in here, slightly different game, because Ekitike will drop into this slot. I don't think he's the most comfortable rolling a man on the shoulder compared to Alexander Isak. It means Salah has to keep the width here. If Salah keeps the width here, I'm going to see Wirtz have a bias towards the left-hand side with Gakpo cutting it in, as we usually do with the rotations, because Wirtz is very, very good in the whips, taking a man on isolated inside. Gakpo will probably more likely pick out a Wirtz than he does a Milos Kerkez. But in instance that Gakpo does come in the inside forward position and Wirtz makes the lateral run into the post position, then you'll see Kerkez on this occasion here. But the thing is, Kerkez in this position, he's only really got Ekitike to cross to, and Ekitike hasn't been in the box. He's been floating outside the box too long. So the only way you see Kerkez making an offensive contribution is if Ekitike plays off the shoulder. So that's going to be a tactical variation from Arne Slot, which is why you see Kerkez more on the line of 6 and being a rotational player in the rotation to shunt the ball out as well. We have to be brave coming into the trap that Atletico Madrid set, this little triangle here, and hit Ekitike and try to play off there. But the problem with that is Salah needs to be brave enough to mix it up, and he hasn't been able to hold the ball in position. It's only when people have been attracted to the ball and Salah gets from out wide to in, and then he tries to take this man on. Around the outside, he's never going to be pacing it and hitting a quality right foot shot. It's gone off the back line. So we've got to get Salah into position, ball to feet, good first touch, and then jink inside out like Aymeric Laporte, Manchester City kind of memories on that occasion. But Conor Bradley really is the key in and around Salah, underlapping, overlapping to give Salah space, or taking the ball himself, because he's one of the best players in world football, despite his age, of give and go, taking in and penetrating the box as well. I think Gravenberch has to beat the man on the press. As soon as you enter their half and they press you, if he beats that man on the press and someone commits, they might even drop back and let Gravenberch ball play. But as long as he gets into that space here, things will open up, and things can actually happen. Anyone else can particularly come into this lineup, it would be surprising. Ngamoha can't start, and it's not because Ngamoha isn't quality. Ngamoha, in terms of offensive contributions, is as good as anybody as an impact player. He could be Aodoku, but his defensive contributions, off-the-ball contributions, game know-how, game management, and game knowledge, I don't think Arne Slot trusts him, and rightfully so. He's so young, right? So it's off the ball, tactical shape, and defensive discipline is the reason Ngamoha doesn't start, despite the many, many, many calls for Rio Ngamoha, our wonder kid, to start. Defensively, in terms of aerial threat, in terms of positional play, tactical play, pressing, the shapes, he's still a work in progress. Give him time. Impact, 20 minutes off the bench, I'd love it. Win the game for us, okay? Yes, so that's what I think will happen. Unless Maka is miraculously fit, Joe Gomez is an outside chance. Frimpong is a big, big chance, in which case we'll play differently, because if Frimpong starts, Frimpong starts on the wing-back position, and Atletico Madrid, even if they cave in that section there, right, it's going to be the give and go. The give and the go into space. How often have we seen that connection? And Salah can play more of a pseudo 10 biased towards the right hand side because of his propensity to shoot left footed, and Travella again. But it's that ball in and behind from Frimpong that will make the impact. We can win this off the bench as well. Don't fret. First half is usually containment from Arne Slot's Liverpool. Don't fret if it's tight and cagey first half, because that's been the pattern every game this season. Frimpong off the bench is a game-winning condition, and Gamoha off the bench. We now have Isak or Ekatike to make the impact and difference. Curtis Jones, unfortunately, out injured. Wataru Endo to hold up shop in the Champions League European night with his game knowledge, the dark arts, winning the fouls as well. He'll definitely come on if we're in the lead. But Wirtz and Alexander Isak were brought in for the European nights, the big game occasions. Get an opening goal. It could be Wirtz, it could be Isak, it could be anybody. But we're going to win 2-0. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Once again, much love to Andy Cantwell and Jamie Rennie and everybody. Thank you to Dennis Mann as well. Your treats have arrived. We haven't opened it up yet. I'm going to unbox them today when Mushroom Boy Ato and Triple Me Mia are awake as well. So thank you so much, Dennis Mann. I'm going to send you a birthday present as well for your upcoming birthday. Look forward to that. Miyazaki Man, Ichiban, it means the best. Mina-san, everyone here in the Liverpool fan in Japan community are the best. Take care. Have a great night. Watch the video, like the video, comment for the algorithm. Really helps the channel out. Until next time, Jan means channel.